Now that we're all done setting up our Gmail account, I want to share with you some of the features that you're going to be using from now on. And it's very important for you to master them in the very beginning. As I mentioned before, the busier you get, the harder it's going to be. And you want to get organized right from the get-go. So if you go on the right-hand side where you have the little squares over here, one of the cool things that you have, like I mentioned before, Google has a lot of applications that are very useful, and we use the majority of them. And you can actually organize them in the order that you use as well. So all you have to do is just click, drag, and drop it. Now, same thing over here with the Google Drive, same thing with the calendar. I'm just going to put it in the order. You can have it in any order that you want to. I'm just going to put it in the order that we use the most. I would say YouTube. You can also get the, for some of you, the translator. That might be helpful. The maps, and anything else. The photos as well. You can change whatever else you want later, but mainly these are going to be the 6 that we're going to use for the most part. Now, once you get out of there and you go back, you see that they're still sitting in the same place. The very first thing that I want to share with you guys is the Google Drive. Google Drive is one of the best features that Google has, and everything that we do is in the cloud. As you can see, it always gives you a little tour so you can learn how to do it and how to work it. It's very, very simple. This is the actual file that if you have any questions, you could always refer to, which is the how to get started. But this is basically the file system for Dream Properties. We keep every single one of our files on the cloud, which means that it's not only stored in our computer, but it's stored up in on the internet as well. Because if God forbid something were to happen to one of the computers, then we wouldn't lose everything. It's just a better way to keep track of it. So one of the things that I wanted to share with you guys is every time that someone is invited to a folder, so for instance, you as a new agent, you're always invited to 2 initial folders, which one of them is a realtor's info, where you have information about the marketing materials and all the materials that you're going to need to start and to keep going as well, any news or properties or anything like that. And you always also have your folder. And your folder basically has a few things for you to keep track, like a spreadsheet for you to keep track of your sales and a few other things that we're going to go over in just a second. The way you see it, you can see it one of 2 ways. Let's say you are not on Google Drive right now, okay? You would receive an email saying that, for instance, in this case, that I'm trying to share a folder with you called Realtors Info. All you have to do is just go to Open. So you always get a notification. You don't go directly to Google Drive. And then from here, you can go to Add to Drive. Now once you've added to the drive, all you have to do is open in Drive. It's going to take you back to Google Drive, and you'll be able to see it right over here, Agents, Marketing Material, and Properties as well, right? If you go back to My Drive, now you have that initial document you already had, and then the Realtor's Info. But you got to remember, you got 2 invites, right? So we're going to go back to the other one. The other one is going to say your name, which is the one that's going to have your spreadsheet and how you're going to keep track of your sales. And the process is the same. You go to Open. You go to Add to Drive. Open in Drive. So it's very simple. It's easier than you think it actually is. Go back to My Drive, you'll see John Smith and Realtors Info. So as I mentioned before, on the John Smith, you're going to have your sales tracker. For those of you that are just now starting to use the schedule, you're going to have a schedule, like some spreadsheets with just a simple schedule for you to follow. Okay. Obviously, it'll be easier if you download it just because they don't show the right way. This is one of the things that every time somebody shares a document with you, you always want to download it, because otherwise you're not able to see it the right way. It's all, see, this is all supposed to be 1 page, but it's shown with multiple pages, okay? Going back over here, you also have your sales. So if you, whatever sales you have in progress, you create the name of the client, and that's how you're going to start adding documents to it. We're going to have another training with a little more detail on this and you also have the listings and others. Others you usually have pictures or anything else that you want to have on there, that you need to keep track of it, and you want us to, whoever it's shared with, to be able to see it. On the Realtors Info folder, you have info about properties, for instance, how to if you want to take a look at a contract, you're writing an as-is contract for a resale property, and it's a cash contract, and you want to have an idea of how to fill it out. There you go. You have it right there, all the boxes that are supposed to be checked and everything else as well. So we try to make it as easy as possible for you guys, because we know it's not very easy when you're first getting started, and this really helps you a whole bunch. Marketing materials, you have a lot of marketing materials and videos and things like that. And as far as the agents, obviously if you're a new agent, you have some things that you need to follow in the beginning, and then the current agent, you have a lot more tools as well. Now, one of the things that I mentioned to you before as well is that you not only have your documents up on the cloud on Google Drive, but you also are able to see the same exact documents on your desktop, right? So everything that you changed on your desktop syncs up online. Everything you change online syncs up with your desktop, your phone, your iPad, or whatever it is that you have, your tablet. And it's real simple to do that, but you do have to download the program first. And it's very easy. All you have to do is go to the right hand corner over here, click on settings, and then download Drive. Now on my computer, my Drive is already installed, but you would just go ahead and pick whatever. For instance, if I wanted to do the Mac, I just pick the Mac. You go agree and download. I'm not sure if mine is gonna try to download it. And it's very simple. It's a light program, so it doesn't take very long. You go and show on Finder, you double check it, double click it. It's saying opening install Google Drive. Mine's not gonna go all the way through just because I already have the Google Drive installed on my computer. But if you use an Apple, I'm not sure how you would do it on Windows, but it's just like if you're installing any other program. If you're using Apple, all you have to do is just open this window, any window up, and go to the applications, and then move this icon over to this side and just drop it. Okay, now mine is telling me that I already have a Google Drive file on there if I want to replace it. In this case, I don't want to do it just because mine is already taken care of. Once the Google Drive is on here though, as you can see right here, the very first time you're going to have to double click it, and then a window is going to pop up to where it's going to ask for your login information for your email. Same information that you use to log into this email. Alright, so every time you install the Google Drive in any device, it's going to be the same exact process. You're going to download the application, it's going to ask for your email login, and then you're just going to type that in and be able to download the files as well. Now, just like I said, keep in mind that whatever files you change on your computer or your cell phone, they'll also be changed online and vice versa. Okay? Another thing that I want to share with you briefly is how to share a folder that you have created, or a folder or a file really. So let's say you wanted to share this one file over here, the how to get started with Drive, right? Let's say you wanted to share that with me. It's really simple to do, and all you have to do is right click the file or the folder in this case. Okay, you would have to, there's two ways you can do it. If you want to send it to somebody that you don't necessarily want that person to have access to your folder, all you want them to have is just be able to download, see the information and download the information, but not add, edit, or delete any files from your folder. All you would send them is just a link. Okay, so you copy this link, for example. Okay, you just do a command or a control C if you're using Windows. You go to your email, for example, compose, you put in the email address, and then you paste it, right? So command V on the Apple, control V on the Windows computers, or just right click and paste it. Okay, so this person's going to be able to see, and you can actually see what it's going to look like when they open it. If you just copy this link and put it right there, okay, you realize that it only allows them to see the file and to download it in this case. Obviously, if it's a folder, it's going to show up a little bit differently, but this is basically if you're sharing a file with them. One thing that you want to make sure as well, if you want to share this with them, let's say this was a folder and you wanted to share with them, you can choose whether they can edit, if they can comment, or if they can only view it. Okay, so all you have to do is, for example, let's say you want to share this with me, you type in my email address, you can add a little note if you want and just send it. I'm going to get an email, obviously, saying that you're inviting me to see your file. Now, with the folders that are shared with you, the company folders, you need to make sure that you don't, especially on the Realtors Info folder, that you don't change or delete or do anything with this one, because if you do it, it's going to delete for everyone else as well, and we don't want that happening. Okay. Now, there's ways to restore it. It's just to avoid it. So let's say you want to do something with the cash checklist. Okay, just go ahead and download it and have this on your computer, and you can just change anything you want on there, but at least you're not changing the one that's on the folder. Okay, so just keep in mind, if you change the file on the folder, the file that's inside the folder, I'm sorry, it'll change for everyone else. If you download it, you can do whatever you want. It's not going to do anything to the original file that was on the folder. All right. So this was a little bit of Google Drive for you. You will learn a lot more as you go, but as you can see, it's a very simple way of storing files. And once you've downloaded to your computer, like I said, try to use it as much as possible on your computer, just because you don't have to download and upload every time you're updating a spreadsheet or anything like that. I hope that was helpful to you guys. If you have any questions, please let us know. I will see you on the next video.